Hello Giants fans, welcome to Giants Baseball 101. I'm Gabe Vaughn, your host. Well, I was gone for a while, and in a way that's good because it gave everybody a chance to kind of watch the previous videos, and maybe the views kind of built up a little bit with everybody getting a chance to just go back and watch the last couple. But it's good to be back. It's not so good to see how the Giants are doing right now in this terrible losing week. Actually, in the series to the Pirates that they lost 2 out of 3, they actually outscored the Pirates 19 runs on their part and 15 runs for the Pirates. And that's because of the 14 runs Giants scored on Monday. Out of the 19 runs they scored in that entire series, 14 of them came on Monday night. So you can see how the Pirates outplayed that and came back to beat the Giants in that series. And sometimes you wish your team could actually distribute its runs a little bit better, but I think that characteristic of the Giants this season is just having some games where they're really hot as opposed to other games where they're just not. And so sometimes you see them win these games where they scored way more runs than they need, and they were just really hot that day. It doesn't always mean that they're consistently able to keep up with things, and that's the way it was against the Pirates. It's just amazing that out of the 19 runs scored in that series, 14 were on the first day, and then they couldn't maintain that level of intensity for the final 2 games. So they lost that series, and then I want to talk about today. They lost it to the Orioles 3-2, and they got the bats going by a home run from Lamont Wade Jr. in the first inning and an RBI double from Mike Yastrzemski in the third. Well, Logan Webb took a tie game into the 7th inning, and it really looked like he was going to do what he's done for the Giants so many times this year already, which is to pitch deep into a game and win it by doing that. I mentioned before that even though the Giants had some success this year by using their bullpen for all of the depth, it really is good when a starting pitcher wins the game by going 7 or 8 innings. And it's not just Logan Webb. We've had other instances with like Cobb and DeSclafani, but I just remember like 2 or 3 starts this year where Webb was just dominant through at least 7 innings, and that's what really helped the Giants to win, because obviously they're avoiding some relievers who like have questionable skills, especially in late inning ball games. So today, it probably looked like Webb was going to do what he always does, but he allowed this home run in the 7th inning, and it turned out to be the difference maker in the game. So while it was overall a good start for Webb today, and while it might not have been such a big deal had the Giants been able to garner a bit more offensive support, the result is just tragic, given that Webb had been dominant until the 7th inning. He comes out looking bad in the end. But those clutch situations do matter, and that's the whole point of why we look at starters pitching deep into the game in a positive way. And this was just an instance where Webb, and I don't think this means that I'm not putting any question on him going forward. I think he's going to continue to be good. I think this was just a day where he threw a bad pitch, and it just had a disappointing result, and the Giants weren't able to come back. So, really bad day for the Giants against the Orioles. It is worth noting that the Orioles are doing much better than in some previous years, and I do think they took a long time to rebuild. I'm not saying that they all did a good job, but they might be finally turning around to cut the corner here. So they're going to be a tougher opponent for the Giants than they would have been 3 years ago. So I'd say that's the way things stand there. It's not impossible for the Giants to come back and win this series, and as evidence of this, you take just last week where they were real hot, and Monday too, where they scored 14 runs. Those things are just in the not too distant past here, so it's not unheard of if they come back and beat the Orioles, but it's legitimate that the Orioles are a tougher opponent than they maybe used to be because of how they seem to be turning things around a little bit. Thank you for watching. This has been Giants Baseball 101. Please subscribe if you haven't. Also, please leave your questions and comments. You know where to do it. I'll see you next time on Giants Baseball 101.